Joey, I'd like to talk to you.
What's going on?
All right, let's get out of here.
After you, doll.
Do you think Gavin has killed anyone else, besides Jeremy?
We already know he brainwashes old ladies. Who knows what else a guy like that is capable of?
That's all for now.
Yeah.
One of the testers pointed out that the High Line is still available on the phone, even though you don't need to go there. And it was a very good point, but for some reason I didn't remove it, because I felt even though you didn't need to go there, it was a location that Rosa probably wouldn't delete from her phone. I don't know why, it just felt like something she would want to leave up there. So I just left it up there.
Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
Hi, Lisa? Hello? Well, that was rude.
Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
Don't go anywhere, Lisa. I need to talk to you. Hello? Damn it.
Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
Wait! Hello? Damn it.
Sorry, I'm not.
Look, you've had some time to think about it. Maybe we can talk about Jeremy now. Guess that's a no.
Sorry,
Why not?
it's personal. Please come back tomorrow.
Hello?
Sorry,
It's me again. Hello?
She's staring at that photograph. I'm not gonna waste my breath on her. Is that... Danny? Is that you? How the hell did Lisa get this? How the hell did Lisa get this? She knows him. That phony knows him.
Knows who?
Danny Marconi, that's who.
Who is Danny Marconi?
Remember that old guy in the nursing home? She's mooning over a picture of him. I don't like where this is going, not one bit.
The funny thing about Danny Marconi's name, I didn't even realize this when I came up with the name, is that the woman who played Lauren Blackwell in Blackwell Unbound, her name is Danny Marco. And I didn't even think about the fact that I ended up calling this guy Danny Marconi. And it's kind of an insult when you think about it, because he's kind of this old, doddering guy in a wheelchair. So, Danny, if you're playing this, I'm sorry.
Not sure what I can say to her. Not sure what I can say to her.
Hi again.
Hello.
Thanks for the help.
Have a good day.
Hi again.
Hello.
Do you have a patient here named Danny Marconi?
Yes, we do. Are you a relative?
No, I'm just hoping to ask him some questions.
Oh, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but he passed away earlier this afternoon.
I see.
It was peaceful. He just went quietly in his sleep.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, good for him. What do we come here for anyway? Come on, let's blow.
Sorry to bother you. So, do you want to talk about it?
It's ancient history. There's nothing to say. Let's just get a move on.
I have a question, Joey.
You rang.
Legit psychic or not, that needs... What's...
If you...
That's all.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
Do you know a Danny Marconi?
What about him?
Let me in and I'll tell you.
No, I don't think so. Goodbye. Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
About Danny Marconi.
What about him?
I know he died this afternoon. And I wanted to talk to you about him.
Yesterday, you threatened me. Today, you want to talk about my grandfather.
Wait, grandfather?
He was your grandfather?
Yes? If you didn't know that, why are you here asking about him?
Grandfather? I can't believe it.
Well,
I'm psychic.
you know about my grandfather because you're psychic.
Yes.
Did you talk to his ghost or something?
Ironically, no, I didn't.
Uh-huh. I ask you again. How do you know my grandfather?
I knew him personally?
No, you didn't. He was in his 60s before you were born. Don't lie to me. How do you know my grandfather?
We have a mutual friend.
Really? And who might that be?
It's complicated.
Uh-huh. I ask you again. How do you know my grandfather?
A little help here.
Just tell her this.
He had slick back hair and a pencil-thin mustache.
So did a lot of people back then.
Fine. Tell her everyone called him Danny Boy and he hated it.
What?
Just say it.
Everyone called him Danny Boy, and he hated it.
Excuse me?
He drank whiskey straight with no ice. He put salt on everything. He played the clarinet like he was born with it in his hand. He would have sold his soul to play at the supper club. And he was madly, madly in love with a singer named Linda.
Madly in love with a singer named Linda.
Get in.
Linda was my grandmother. She died before I was born.
Thank heaven for small favors. Seeing you would have broken her heart.
You're for real, aren't you? You're one of them?
Them?
No, I'm not falling for that. I've been nothing but loyal over the years. You have no reason to test me like this.
Look at her, shaking like a leaf.
Just because there was that bit of trouble with the reporter,
You mean his murder?
I am not responsible for that. Why now? If what I suspect is true, you people have looked the other way for years. Why the change of heart?
Gavin has killed someone.
I can't confirm that one way or the other, and neither can you.
Look, I'm just a friend of Jeremy's. I want to know what happened, that's all. Whoever Gavin is, he needs to be stopped.
I want to believe you.
Then what's the problem?
Look, what if I tell you my suspicions and I'm wrong? You think I can just walk away?
So what do you suggest?
I'll give you the names of the last 2 clients I referred to Gavin. That's harmless enough. You look into them. You find anything, maybe we can talk.
Fine, give them to me.
Here.
Thanks. I will get to the bottom of this.
I hope so. But until you do, leave me out of it. Now get out. I've done all I can.
Is this what you lived for, Danny? Was it worth it? You were a good man, Danny. You deserved a better legacy than this. Well, maybe we both did.
Earlier in this commentary, I talked about how I went to a storefront psychic under false pretenses with a hidden microphone and camera. And originally, Lisa was kind of a cartoonish caricature of that. She's kind of very slimy, sleazy, all about getting money, and she was a little cartoonish and over the top, and I had to dial that down quite a bit. And eventually, I kind of realized, as I wrote more dialogue for her, what her primary motivation is. I think the secret to any good character is to find out what their motivation is, whether they want fame or money or whatever. And Lisa Tenzin's primary motivation is survival. It took me a while to realize that, but everything she says, everything she does is based on her wanting to survive or not go to jail or something. It's her trying to stay out of trouble and do this, the one thing that she's good at, and basically survive and live. And that's everything she says has to do with that. So that's basically Lisa.
So it looks like we've got to track down these two names.
Huh? Oh, sure. Who are they?
We've got Tiffany Walters. She lives on Thompson Street, just south of Washington Square.
And the other?
Jamie Graham. She's a student up at Columbia.
Didn't you go to school there?
Yeah, it's been a while. Sneaking through the Columbia campus at night isn't how I envisioned coming back here. Keypad locks. Those are new.
A funny thing about my job is that I sometimes have to justify why certain background items are there. Indrek is a wonderful artist, but he can't read my mind. And sometimes it's just less effort to just come up with a reason why something is there than to ask him or whatever artist I'm working with to completely redo it. So I had to justify why a college kid who's like 18 years old would have a cassette radio player on her shelf. I mean, who has that stuff anymore? But I came up with something. You can go right-click on that radio if you want to hear what it is. When I first designed this game, I knew I wanted a bunch of scenes to take place at Columbia. In the original draft design document of the game, there was Jamie's dorm room, there was Professor Appleton's office, and then there was the Columbia Library where Seb worked. And in the end, I decided not to use any of them because, number one, Professor Appleton you only need to speak to once. So why waste an entire background on her? You could just call her. And with Seb, I found that the nightclub was such a cool location that I felt that we should spend more time there. So I moved Seb to the nightclub. So the only Columbia background we still have is Jamie's dorm room. There's this little silly thing I did where if you're playing Rosa and you hover over the laptop, it says laptop. But if you're playing Joey and hover over the laptop, it says strange case or something like that. And one of the testers liked it so much that he said, why don't you, I'd like to see more of it. And so I tried to stick it in where I could. In the nursing home, if you hover over Penelope as Joey, it says crazy old broad, that kind of thing. So I tried to stick that in wherever I could.
Does anyone listen to cassette tapes anymore? It must be something she had as a child.
Crap, she's like 18.
Yeah, I know. Must be something she had 2 years ago. they're just so outdated. They're Betamax. Literally. It must be her grandmother's. Who listens to this shit anymore? I have a question, Joey.
What is it this time?
It's been years since I was last here on campus. Can't believe it took something like this to bring me back. It's been years since I was last here on campus. Can't believe it took something like this to bring me back. Any thoughts on Jamie?
Dunno. We don't know a heck of a lot about her yet.
That's all for now.
Yeah.
Lisa said that she referred Jamie to Gavin. There's a keypad on this door. It's the door to Jamie's dorm room.
Hello? Looks like the coast is clear. Looks like a bunch of junk to me. I know what this is. It's a cassette player. I think it replaced the 8-track not too long ago. Just a set of drawers. Looks like textbooks. Looks like a bunch of junk to me. Well, we've learned one thing by coming here. Jamie's a slob. Looks like a schedule of some kind. Every item is marked by a letter and number code. I can't make heads or tails of it. Looks like a poster for a band called Epileptic Fish? Seriously, Epileptic Fish.
Back in 2004, I took part in the Adventure Game Studio Team Challenge, which is anyone who was interested could put their name in the ring, and then you got randomly assigned a team, and you had to make a game in about 2 or 3 months. And part of the rules is that you had to come up with a team name, and our team was called Epileptic Fish. And it was a great project. It was actually what kind of inspired me to sell games commercially on my own. Everyone from that team is now kind of doing non-gamey things, and they're all doing great. If you Google Epileptic Fish on the phone, there's a little inside joke about the old Adventure Game Studio Challenge.
Looks like a poster for a band called Epileptic Fish? Seriously, Epileptic Fish. I have no idea what this thing is. It says, "Remember Waterloo."
I can't do anything from out here. There's a keypad on this door. Looks like a poster for a band called Epileptic Fish. I've heard of those guys. I'm not sure they play together anymore. Hey, Joey?
Yeah?
It's been years. That's
Yeah.
pretty typical for a college kid, I guess. This is really old. It's got a cassette player and everything. Does anyone listen to cassette tapes anymore? It must be something she had as a child. No point, it doesn't even have a tape inside. It must have sentimental value of some kind. Ouch, those heels look like they'd hurt. I'm not here to steal shoes. It's full of makeup, nail polish, eyeliner, hairspray. I guess that's college for you.
Those are some fearsome-looking shoes.
This looks like a class schedule. I recognize a bunch of the course codes from when I studied here.
You remember that after all this time?
It wasn't that long ago.
If you say so.
Let's see. She's mostly taking English and history classes.
Uh-huh.
Now this is interesting. She's taking the same writing class that I did.
That's interesting.
Well, it is to me. She's even got the same professor. Just some textbooks covering a variety of subjects. They seem to be the only books in the room. You would think a college kid would have more than this. These books are pretty generic. They wouldn't tell me anything. I don't need Jamie's class schedule. It's a small laptop. A set of drawers.
Hello?
Hi, is this Elaine Appleton?
That's me. Who's this?
Rosangela Blackwell. I was in your class around 10 years ago.
Rosangela. Yes, of course I remember you. It's been a long time. I saw you had a book published. Is that right?
Something like that. Do you have a few minutes?
Sure. What can I help you with?
I'm surprised you remember me after all this time.
Well, it was my first year as a professor, and you did stand out.
I did?
The coffee? The cup you spilled all over my desk?
Oh, God. I completely forgot about that.
I didn't. I had to let those papers dry out all night.
I wanted to ask about a student of yours, Jamie Graham.
Oh, her. tragic what happened.
Tragic?
You mean you don't know? She died just last week.
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. Did you know her well?
No, not really. But could I ask you some questions about her?
I'm not sure what I can tell you that I already didn't tell the police, but go ahead.
What can you tell me about Jamie?
I hate to speak ill of her, but she was a disappointment.
How so?
At first, she was very keen about her work. She was a brilliant writer, but that brilliance soon faded. By midterm, she'd show up for class late and hungover, when she showed up at all. And as for what she was wearing, well, let's just say it wasn't appropriate.
What made her brilliant?
She had a way of infecting you with her passion. When she loved something, she could make you love it too. She had a keen interest in Middle Eastern history, so it was no surprise that most of her work had Middle Eastern themes to them. But as I said, that faded with time. She stopped having a passion for much of anything, I think. Such a waste.
What made her brilliant?
Well, like I said, she had a way of infecting you with her passion. When she loved something, she could make you love it too. She had a keen interest in Middle Eastern history, so it was no surprise that most of her work had Middle Eastern themes to them. But as I said, that faded with time. She stopped having a passion for much of anything, I think. Such a waste.
You said she faded. What do you think happened to her?
I don't know. I wish I did. At the time, I figured it was the typical story. Young, sheltered girl comes to the city and gets overwhelmed with the freedom of it all. Most adjust fine. Some, well, don't. I could tell she was troubled, but I learned long ago that it isn't my place to reach out. I remember you being a bit closed off, once upon a time.
Yes, well, we all change. What was wrong with her clothes?
I'm no prude, but what she was wearing should stay in Munray's where it belongs.
Munray's?
It's a nightclub. It's a popular hangout for the students here.
And Jamie went there?
She wore their t-shirts, so I'd assume yes. Although it was more like a half a shirt.
How did Jamie die?
I'm not sure. No foul play, if that's what you're asking. It was a clot in the brain or something like that.
Really?
That's what the police said anyway.
Why were the police involved? If she died by natural causes, why involve them?
I wondered the same thing myself. The detective, a man named Durkin, I believe, wasn't very forthcoming.
That's who I'm talking to right now. So what is Munray's like?
I wouldn't know. My clubbing days are long gone. I'd just embarrass myself.
So what is Munray's?
I wouldn't know.
Do you know a guy named Jeremy Sams?
No, I don't know anyone with that name.
Do you ever go up to the High Line?
It's gorgeous, isn't it? My husband and I went for a walk there last summer.
But you haven't been back since?
No, we haven't. Why?
Oh, no reason. Have you ever heard of a man named Gavin?
Gavin? Can't say I know any Gavins.
Is there anything else you could tell me about Jamie?
If there's anything specific you'd like to know, just ask.
Is there anything...
If there's...
I should get going.
Are you still in the city? We should have coffee sometime.
Oh, sure. I'm a bit wrapped up in the story, but maybe after?
Sure. You take care.
Durkin.
Hi, it's me again. I was just checking in. Any word on Jeremy's murder?
Nothing yet. We're working on it. You got anything for us?
I found Jeremy's phone outside of a psychic's office.
You did, huh? Where is it?
I've got it with me. Hello?
You found potential evidence and removed it from the scene?
Yes?
Forget it. It's just junk now.
I wanted to talk to you about Jamie Graham.
Who?
Jamie, a Columbia student. I was told you were looking into it.
You get around, don't you?
I think Jamie and Jeremy might be connected. Could we talk somewhere?
Why should I do that?
Look, you owe me, and I might be able to help you out again.
You could, huh?
Like you said, I get around.
What the hell? I need a cup of coffee anyway. You know a place in Alphabet City called Cup of Clay?
I'll find it.
Right. See you there.
There's this area of the East Village of Manhattan called Alphabet City, which is just far, far East Village, and there's a cafe called Cafe Pick Me Up. And when I was designing this game, I spent a lot of time over there with a notebook, just jotting stuff down. And I knew that there was going to be a cafe in this game, and I wanted it to be kind of based on Cafe Pick Me Up. It was really hard to get all of the features of that cafe in one image, but I knew that it had to have that wall-length window overlooking the street. And that's the one bit of Cafe Pick Me Up that made it into this background. Originally, Cup of Clay was called Feet of Clay, and it was a ceramic shop, not a coffee shop. And the only reason why you went there was to talk to Rachel, and then you never went there again. And something like a ceramic shop would have just been a really interesting location, and there would have been a lot of cool things to do there, but you wouldn't have been there for very long. And the more I thought about it, the more it just felt like a waste. So I thought about it and wondered if there was a way I could reuse one of the other locations. And since I knew I wanted Rosa to talk to Durkin in the cafe, I figured, well, why not make Rachel the barista, and you can talk to her there. So I saved production time and money on reusing this location.
That's horrible. That's horrible. Got too tense. That's absolutely horrible. It's so tempting, but I've already had more coffee today than I should. It's so tempting, but I've already had more coffee today than I should. I don't think you'd have any interest in that. It looks like you leave back to the room, but what did I do exactly? Like, Rosa likes coffee! Ah! I know we're not there yet, but I shouldn't have any more coffee. That's so me. Because this is like my second large today.
Oh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
It looks good.
It is good. Okay. I don't think those are connected in any way. It's the barista. It has a panel for milk and everything. Caramel espresso shots. I am so coming here when this is over. Organically grown. Not bad. Those look pretty good, actually. Maybe I'll buy one when this is over. I shouldn't have any more coffee. I've already had 4 cups today. I'm not taking her espresso machine. Some of those brands do look pretty good. But no, I'll do coffee shopping when this is over. Hi.
Hi, you're new here, aren't you?
Yeah, my first time.
I knew it. I never forget a face.
The Rachel character is played by a woman named Jennifer Holmes, and it's a funny story how I met this woman, or rather I got back in touch with her. I went to summer camp with her about, I don't want to know how many years ago, back in like early 90s, 93, and I don't want to do the calculation in my head, but it was a while ago. And I know she lived in New York, and I knew she was an actress, and she had a child, and she kind of dropped off the radar. And when I was trawling internet forums and Facebook and Twitter looking for people to play these small roles, she emailed me back. She's like, hey, I'd love to get back into acting. Could I audition? And I said, yeah, sure. That would be awesome. And I did some acting back then too. We were in plays together back then. So I knew she could act. Admittedly, it was like 20 years ago or whatever. But she sent me an audition, and I'm like, wow, like she still can act. So she came over, and she did this role. She did Madeline, and I think she did Penelope. She did the old woman. I think I talked about her in an earlier commentary. So yeah, it's just funny how I re-met this person. So you'll be definitely hearing her again in a future game.
Do you know the detective over there?
Durkin? He's a regular.
It's so tempting, but I've already had more coffee today than I should. Thanks. I'll see you around.
Have a good night.
It's the detective I met up on the High Line. Hi, Detective Durkin?
Oh, it's you. So, what can I do for you?
So, any progress on Jeremy?
Look, you helped us out on the ID, but don't push it. You know about as much as I do.
So why are you looking into Jamie's death? Her teacher said it was natural.
Well, she was right. It looked that way, sure enough.
And?
Her body was found in a dumpster off of Amsterdam. Natural or not, how did the body get in there?
A dumpster. So it was murder.
I didn't say that. It was 3 blocks away from some nightclub. We learned she was a regular, so we went over. She bought it in the upstairs room, some kind of VIP area. 1 minute, dancing the night away. The next, lights out. Nobody saw how she died, just that she was dead. Anyway, the bouncer saw it and freaked, so he snuck her out and dumped her. Like I said, cut and dry. Case closed.
How are you sure she wasn't murdered?
We have this thing called a coroner's report.
Right. What did it say?
I don't know the medical term, but some kind of brain vessel burst? It happens. One thing's for sure, there was no murder, just rotten luck.
What else did the coroner's report say?
Nothing too important. Why?
I don't know. Could I see it? You do owe me.
I don't know about that, but you certainly do get around. Look, I can't give you the actual report, but I can give you the gist. You might be nuts, but for some reason, I think you're alright.
Thanks.
Don't thank me. You owe me now. You got a phone?
Yeah.
When we finish here, I'll send you a message.
How did Jeremy die? What was the cause of death, I mean?
Small caliber bullet to the back of the head. He never saw it coming.
That's horrible.
Yeah, well, what are you gonna do?
Has this ever happened on the High Line before?
Not like that, no. The place used to be a dump. They cleaned it up good, but some grime you can't wash off.
Do you know anyone named Gavin?
You're gonna have to be more specific than that.
He's kind of a cult leader. I'm not sure what he does yet.
Yet?
Have you heard of him or not?
Nah, sorry.
Thrown away like trash. That's horrible.
You're surprised? You know what happened up on the High Line. Some people are animals. They choke someone's mother to death for no good reason.
You spoke to Professor Appleton.
The Graham Kids prof? Yeah, why?
No reason, really. This club where Jamie died. It was Munray's, wasn't it?
You get around. Yeah, that was the place.
Well, bye.
See ya.
She seems a little too happy about selling coffee for a living. $4 for coffee? I have no idea what that thing does. Not sure I want to know either. Bags of coffee beans. Yuck. How long have those been sitting there? Ghost, remember? No touching. I can't touch it. Must I define intangible? Boy, if I could touch it, that would sure be great. Ghost, remember? No. I love the idea, but I'm not really a hands-on kind of guy. Give me just a second. I'm going to add that to my list of things I cannot touch. I guess there's nothing stopping me from doing that, except for my nearly complete lack of physical existence. Ghost, remember? It's the cop we met up on the High Line. Not sure what blow it.
Hey, check it out. I got a message from Durkin.
Uh-huh.
No, I don't see it. Joey, I'd like to...
You rang.
That was pretty reasonable of Durkin to give this to us.
Yeah, now you're in debt to a cop.
So?
So he's gonna collect. Someday.
Munray's isn't really my kind of place.
Well, maybe it's time to broaden your horizons.
As long as I can bring earplugs. It's been so long since I took Professor Appleton's class. I wonder if she remembers me. Any thoughts on Jamie?
Dunno. We don't know a heck of a lot about her yet.
That's all for now.
Yeah. $20 cover for this dump? You got robbed.
What?
I said you got robbed.
I look like a slob?
No. Well, yes, kinda. Just forget it.
I knew when I first designed this game I wanted a section that took place in a nightclub, and I was very tempted. Actually, it was very hard to resist making it a whole fish out of water thing, because Rosa is a very kind of awkward, nervous character, and her being being placed in this situation, it could have very easily turned into a very cruel joke. I'm thinking of the last couple of seasons of Monk, where the character is a very awkward, OCD type of guy, and it became less about the episodes and more a case of what awkward, wacky situation can we put this character. And I didn't want to do that, as tempting as it was, and as maybe as eager all of you would have been to wanting to see that. But I resisted. Maybe in a future game we'll put Rosa in some wacky spot. I don't know. But for now, let's take the high road.
I can barely see him through all the lights. They look pretty engrossed, whoever they are. Hi. Hello. They're ignoring me. They look pretty engrossed. He looks drunk, whoever he is. Hi. Hello. He's just looking at me funny. I guess he doesn't want to talk to me. He's just leaning against the wall. Hi. Hey! I can't just chat with some stranger. Not here, anyway. I can't read the labels, but it looks like decent stuff to me. The last time I drank on the job, it didn't end too well. Although, believe me, I'm tempted. Looks like the bartender. Hi. Hi, got a sec? Hello? She's serving a bunch of customers on the other side. I can't get her attention. Excuse me, could I ask... Hello? Ow, hey, watch the arm. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Looks like it goes to an upstairs lounge. There's a sign that says the VIP area is closed. I could try and climb over, but I'd get caught instantly. Looks like some kind of flat screen panel.